Welcome back to the Sports News. It is my pleasure now to welcome Commissioner of the WIAC, Gary Karner. Gary, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about the WIAC.
Well, the WIAC is pretty unique. It's comprised of 9 of the 13 four-year campuses of the University of Wisconsin system. And the uniqueness of it is that we're one of only 2 conferences in all of the NCAA where the schools are all part of the same university system. And our student athlete, we compete at the Division III level of the NCAA, which means that our student athletes are not allowed to receive athletic scholarships. They can receive merit-based aid and need-based financial aid, but they cannot receive scholarships. So they really play, use an old cliche, for the love of the game.
Understandable. And being alumni, I might be a little bit biased, but the WIAC is considered one of the premier Division III conferences in the country. Can you tell us a little bit more about, why and some of the things that set the WIAC apart?
Well, the most obvious thing is just simply the numbers. If you look at the national championships that the WIAC has captured in its history, it's captured more NCAA Division III national championships than any Division III conference in NCAA history. As a matter of fact, we just captured 3 more championships over the last 8 days, NCAA championships that is. So it's really an incredible story, incredible conference, and there's nothing like it in the entire country relative to success.
And not only with the championships you mentioned, but the WIAC has also propelled some athletes to the next level, being professionals in whatever sport they should choose. Can you share with us some of the stories or some of those athletes that our viewers might recognize?
Yeah, we're not in the business at the Division III level of necessarily preparing student athletes to be professionals, but we've had a number of our young men and women go on and play at the next level, and particularly in pro sports. And we've had just some names that some of your viewers may recognize, some former Brewers, Jim Gantner, Jerry Augustine, have gone on. Bob Wickman is another example. Currently, Jordan Zimmerman. I mean, what a story he has been. The young man out of Auburndale who played at UW-Stevens Point, pitched a no-hitter for the Washington Nationals on the last day of the season last year. So we've had football players. Billy Schrader is a name that probably a lot of your viewers would recognize, who played at lacrosse and then went on to play for the Packers in their Super Bowl year. So we've had our share, and it's great for our conference. It's motivation for those young men who want to go on and maybe play at the next level. So it's a great thing for our conference.
The WIC is not only one of the most successful Division III, but also one of the oldest. Just celebrated your centennial, I believe. Can you tell us a little bit about that celebration, how it went, maybe some highlights from that?
Yeah, it was an incredible, it ended up being about a 2-year celebration, because when you have a history like our conference has, and you try to go back over 100 years and try to compress it into a short period of time to be able to celebrate, it's really, really difficult. So we did a whole bunch of different things. We had an all-time teams. We looked back at significant events in the history of the conference. We had a documentary that ended up being broadcast on 19 different occasions on FS Wisconsin, FSN North. We had a celebration right here in Madison at the Alliant Energy Center back in August of 2012. And we had 1,405 people show up. And we actually had to cut it off at a certain point because we just couldn't accommodate any more individuals. And one of the neat things that we also did in conjunction with our centennial is we decided to establish a conference Hall of Fame. So now we have a WIAC Hall of Fame, and the first class was inducted in conjunction with the centennial 2 years ago, and now we're going to be inducting the second class of the WIAC Hall of Fame this coming August at UW-Platteville.
Very impressive. Gary, thank you so much for joining us here on the Sports News today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Gary Karner, Commissioner of the WIAC. We'll be right back.